All right, hello everyone. I am back with another Remind video, giving you some more tips on how to use this awesome app. So first thing, I'm going to open my Remind app, and here we are. We're on that people screen. We've seen it before. We've seen the files, the messages. We've been through it, but I didn't go over to settings yet, and I wanted to just quickly show you this too. So when we're looking at this screen under settings, we see change avatar. So maybe I want a specific picture for my math class, for my math period 1, for my math period 2. I can change that there, and I can make it whatever I'd like. So that's important to notice there. Right below that, we have our class name, which, as we know, I made example math. So you can change that class name if you'd like at any time. I can decide maybe I want it to be something else. I can type in there and change it at any moment, and that's over in settings. Right below that, we also have our class code, which is important to know that's in our settings because if you want someone to join this class, you can give them that class code. They type it in when they're joining, and bam, they're right in my example math class or whatever class code you give them. So mine is just @example math. Great. I think I can change that too if I'd like. Yep. But we probably won't be using that too much, but if you need to give someone that class code, it's right in your settings. Down below that, we have some other things selected. Class visibility, this class will appear in class, search, and on your profile. School default on, great. We're just going to leave that on. You don't really need to go through these or touch these, but it's just good to know they're there. Required approval to join. Yes, you want to make sure that's blue, that's selected, that people do need approval to get into your classes. We could scroll down. Participant messaging. This is a pretty good one if you want to click over and check that out. Choose how participants see and message each other in class. So we can see role-based, off, whatever. There's the different options there. The one that's already selected, students can only message students and parents can only message parents. That's how it already comes. So I would say just leave it like that unless you want to read through and maybe change it. But just leave it as is. It's just good to know it's there. Of course, participants are over 13. We've selected that before. That stays the same. We're going to leave that checked off. And then down below, we see class owners, me, Natalie Sidorovitz, as my example math owner. Maybe I want to add another teacher, someone else. I can hit add class owner and add someone else to be owner within this class. And then lastly, below that, we see school as BHA Academy, which is perfect. We know we're all going to be a part of that school. I'll have BHA down there. Maybe you skip that step before. Maybe you just want to make sure it's right. That's over at the bottom of your settings. You'll see what school you're a part of. And of course, it's BHA Academy. So there was another thing I wanted to show you about Remind, and I thought this was an incredibly helpful tip. So we're going to go over to messages, and like I said, either hit start a conversation or the little blue circle at the bottom. And for now, I'm just going to hit announcement just because I'm showing an example math next. But this could be in announcements. This could be to a specific person, a one-on-one message. So I'm going to type my message. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Great. So I've typed this out in English, as you can see, but maybe I need to translate it. Maybe I'm sending it to a student or a parent that speaks primarily a different language, where it'll make more sense to them if I'm able to send it in their language. Remind does that for you, and that's awesome. So I can hit translate, and we see select a language. These few pop up. If you hit more, all of these languages are there. There is a ton, and you can scroll through, see them all, select one. Remind will just translate your message into that language for you. So I'm just going to hit Spanish, super popular. I'm going to hit select, and there. My hello everyone was then changed to Spanish, and bam, it's in that language. It'll make lives easier for everyone. I'm going to hit send, and my message is sent in Spanish, which is so great. So it translates it for you right within the app. It's so helpful. And I feel like I've showed a lot within the app. I think I've kind of covered all the sides, all the things we can hit, but maybe you're still a little confused. Maybe you're stuck. Maybe something just doesn't seem right. Here's where you're going to want to go. So I have used the Remind app a lot the past few days, but I do not know all the answers, I will admit. So if you need help with the Remind app and my videos just aren't answering your question, here is where you're going to want to go. I think we've shared this link with everyone, and I'll make sure to include this link in my description as well. But the Remind Help Center. So you can just write Remind Help on Google, and it will pop right up. Help Center for Remind, and they answer every single question here on their Help Center. So we see Help Center, what can we help you with? If I have a specific question, I can type that out right there, and Remind is going to help me. Below it, we see the commonly asked questions, create a class, add an owner, add people, all of these things. If you're just a little confused, if you're lost, if you want some more help from the source, Remind itself, go here. Go to Remind Help. Their help center will just help you out and answer all those questions for you. We scroll down and we see articles by topic, and this is a really helpful section. We have getting started, your account, using Remind, administering a Remind plan, and troubleshooting. So all of these specific categories you can click and go through, and it focuses on certain things about Remind, plans and features. What is Remind? So say I want to click that. Maybe you have a parent or a student that's confused because we are just kind of starting to use this Remind app. Right there. Remind is a communication platform that helps educators reach students and parents where they are. Here's the answer. You don't need to kind of form it on your own. Remind tells you right there at the Help Center. And of course, answers so many other questions. So we could go over using Remind, hit here, change your class name, join a class, leave a class. All of these things can be done. And maybe you're just having a hard time. Going here to their Remind Help will show you. Leave a group conversation, create a group conversation, anything can be answered here. And Remind is super easy to use, but maybe you're stuck. Come to this website, it'll help you. I know there was another important thing I wanted to share, and that was if you are using your laptop for Remind, like you can, I know I said it's best on an iPhone or smartphone. iPhone is what I have, but smartphone specifically is definitely what it's best on. You can get the app, but say you don't have one, you can use your laptop or computer and work from there too. You can go on the Remind website and you can use that website on any browser, Chrome, Safari, anything. It's important that you know you can use that anywhere. So even if you don't have access to a smartphone, you can use a laptop or computer and get Remind really anywhere. So we're all staying connected, which is really important during this time. So even technical issues, anything you have is going to be on this Help Center. Hopefully my videos have answered some of your questions or just showed you how to do the basics. If you have any questions, comment them. I'm posting all of these on this YouTube channel, so comment them on the YouTube channel. I'm sharing them on BHA's Facebook account. Comment your questions on our Facebook posts, and hopefully we can work together and I'll answer these questions with Remind and use this really helpful, awesome app.